That dog needs to be gone by tomorrow.
Excuse me?
The HOA has banned every pet in this neighborhood.
That's not your decision.
You'll find out whose decision it is.
My name is David, and I've lived in Cedar Grove Estates for almost 7 years. If you drove through our neighborhood, you'd probably notice my German Shepherd, Max, before you'd notice me. Every evening around 6, Max would lie on the front porch while I sat in my old wooden rocking chair reading or answering emails. Kids walking home from school would wave at him. Neighbors stopped to pet him. Even the mail carrier kept dog treats in his pocket. Max wasn't just a pet. He was family. Everything changed when Linda became HOA president. Linda loved rules. Every month there seemed to be another email announcing some ridiculous policy. Garden decorations, mailbox colors, holiday lights. She acted like every decision she made was protecting the neighborhood. Then, one morning, everyone received an email that left us speechless. Effective immediately, all pets must be permanently removed from the community. According to Linda, the decision had been made after her 16-year-old cat had died the previous week. She claimed roaming animals made the neighborhood unsafe and that all pets created unnecessary emotional distress. Nobody believed it. People assumed it was a joke until Linda started knocking on doors. That afternoon, I was sitting on my porch with Max sleeping beside my chair when Linda walked up the front steps carrying her clipboard. She stopped the moment she saw Max. "That dog needs to be gone by tomorrow." I looked up from my tablet. "I'm sorry?" "The HOA has banned all pets." I scratched Max behind his ears. "Since when?" "The board approved it." "Can I see the rule?" She flipped through her papers but never showed me anything. "You'll receive it in writing." I smiled. "I'll wait." She stared at Max for another second before turning around and walking back down the steps. Max barely opened one eye. 3 days later, the promised letter arrived. It demanded I remove Max within 72 hours or face a $2,500 fine, followed by $500 every day afterward. I read the letter twice. Then I opened the HOA bylaws. There wasn't a single sentence banning pets. In fact, there was an entire section that specifically allowed household pets as long as they weren't dangerous or creating a nuisance. Max had never received a complaint. Not one. Instead of arguing, I emailed Linda and politely asked which bylaw had changed. She never answered. Instead, another violation notice appeared on my door. Within a week, several neighbors started calling me. An elderly widow named Mrs. Harris had been ordered to remove her 12-year-old beagle. A young family received the same notice for their 2 indoor cats. Another homeowner had been threatened over a small rescue rabbit that never even left the backyard. Something wasn't right. I suggested everyone attend the next HOA meeting. Most agreed. The meeting room was packed. People who had never attended before filled every seat. Linda stood confidently at the front with her clipboard. She announced that the new pet ban was necessary to protect neighborhood harmony. When questions began, I stood up. "Can you tell everyone which bylaw allows you to ban pets?" Linda smiled. The board voted. One board member immediately looked confused. "What vote?" The room went silent. Linda glanced sideways. Another board member spoke up. "We never voted on a pet ban." Murmurs spread across the room. I held up the violation letter. "Then why is this signed by the HOA president?" Linda tried to recover. "It was an emergency policy." I opened the printed bylaws. There is no emergency provision that lets one person rewrite the rules. Several homeowners applauded. Then Mrs. Harris slowly stood. Her voice shook. "You made me think I'd lose my home because of my dog." A father in the back added, "My kids have been crying for 3 days. because they thought we had to give away our cats. The room turned against Linda almost instantly. The board called a short recess. When they returned 15 minutes later, the vice president spoke first. The HOA has never approved a community-wide pet ban. Every violation letter related to pets was immediately withdrawn. All fines were canceled. The board also voted to suspend Linda as HOA president while they reviewed her actions. Neighbors actually clapped. Mrs. Harris wiped away tears. My son leaned down and hugged Max. 2 weeks later, the investigation found that Linda had written and mailed every pet violation herself without board approval. She had used official HOA letterhead to make the notices appear legitimate. The board removed her permanently and adopted a new policy requiring that every future violation be reviewed and approved by at least 2 board members before being sent to homeowners. Life slowly returned to normal. Every evening, Max went back to his favorite spot beside my rocking chair. Kids kept stopping to pet him. The mail carrier kept bringing treats. And every time someone walked past our house, they smiled. Not because Max had won, but because an entire neighborhood had finally realized that rules only have power when they're actually real and when people are too afraid to question them.